What's up, guys? Simply Jay here. Hope you're having a great day so far. So, I have my special guest today, my millionaire trader and entrepreneur mentor, Zed Monopoly, on my YouTube channel. I had a call with him and I wanted to ask him a couple questions about his lifestyle and how he got from broke to rich, right? So, maybe you guys can take some of these questions that I asked him and implement them into your trading style. So I'm gonna switch to the Zoom call right now, and I'll see you guys at the end of the video. What's up, guys? Simply Jay here. So today I have my mentor with me, Millionaire Traders at Monopoly. He's the one I learned pretty much everything that I know from trading to risk management to not blowing up my accounts. So I wanted to bring him on my account today, on my YouTube account, and talk to you guys about some questions, that maybe some beginners have about how these guys, these millionaire traders have such the discipline that they have, the patience, to wait for the trades, and what they learned along the way that maybe we can take from them. So Zed, how are you, man?
How are you, James? How are
Doing
you
good?
guys? Good, good. How's your trading? How's life?
Doing good, doing good. Learning from the best, as always.
That, that's it, man. That's it.
So I got
So
a couple questions lined up for you. So I'm gonna start up, start normal, start with the normal stuff, and we'll get maybe into the more interesting stuff at the end. So first question is pretty simple. What's your your daily routine, your morning ritual? What do you do that you think in the morning or in the day helps you with trading?
yeah. I mean, trading is stressful. Everybody agrees, right?
Yeah, it
Everybody
is.
agrees that trading, you use your brain more than anything. Just thinking. Like, there's no other business out there or something out there that you think about like every minute of the day you're thinking about. Trading is that thing that you think about going to sleep, waking up, and first thing in the morning you're checking your phone, you're at work, you're in the bathroom, in the shower, training, gym, you're thinking about it. Um, my morning routine goes like this: walk. I have to walk. I have to get out and just walk. Um, it's important to clear the head, and even then, you think that you have a clear mind, but how can you clear your mind when these negative thoughts swim up? They've learned to swim up, and everybody watching this, they have thoughts and they think they've buried those thoughts, but they always swim up. So you need to just walk. Walking for me or just training is like a ritual. I have to do this. Okay. But also, staying away from the computer
Yeah. If you
is
walk and have your
important.
phone.
You have to stay away from the
Yeah.
computer because that triggers stress. You kind of start to read headlines, you start to read into things, you start to make trades, you start to look at opportunities. I don't want to look at opportunities. I want to know I have a certain stock, I have a certain trade. I want to enter that. I'm going to enter that. I'm not going to look at what everybody else is doing. I'm not looking at Bloomberg, Yahoo Finance. I don't care about these things. That's one thing you have to force yourself to do is stay away from headlines and news. So that's like the main kind of outside of actual trading. That's the main thing to do. It's to train, just walking, just to clear your head, and staying away from being in front of the computer and being in front of the screens.
Yeah, I think walking helps me a lot too. When you go out and you leave your phone at home, it's a different thing. Just walking, just peacefully, just go to a destination, come back. It helps.
Yeah,
Get your head off some news or whatever's going on in the world with
yeah,
this with the tariffs that we have. It's you never know what can happen.
yeah. There's a lot of news. There's a lot of headlines, and he said, she said, and
Yeah,
everybody's everybody is just all retail. They say these days you've got more. There's more. There's more people under the age of 20 or 30 that are mentally ill somehow. Suicides have increased,
yeah.
and then you
It's
say under the age of 30. Then you say, well, why? But then you look at it, you say, well, finance. Everybody has access to Robinhood these days or investing apps. Everybody has access to trade and everybody's invested. Everybody's looking into the finance. Everybody's looking into how other people are living. They're seeing themselves maybe less than what they like, comparing themselves to other people their age. All of that influences you, and it all backfires. But that's why, I guess just staying away from all of that is a crucial thing, in my opinion. Um, but yeah, I want to tell everybody watching that trading is simple, but it's only simple if you're listening to the calm voices, if you're listening to the voices that are kind of bringing FOMO into your life,
Yeah, the
bringing
hype
fear
voices,
into your life.
all the
Yeah,
hype.
all the hype. Trading, you need to be calm. You need to be relaxed, and you can't do it like, you watch videos like Wolf of Wall Street or I don't know, where they're in this boiler room and they're on the phones
Yeah,
and
they're going
talking,
crazy.
shouting. That's not the real world of retail. Retail is calm. You have to be calm. You're trading with your own money. You're not trading with
Yeah,
people's money.
exactly.
You're not. Yeah. So, it's a different ball game. You're not trading for commissions. That's what they do in movies. They're trading for commissions. You're trading with your life savings, with your own money. It's a different ball game. You need to be relaxed. You need to be in control, and you're not here to try and churn your own accounts. You make your trades and you walk away. But you have to be calm. You cannot allow greed, and you cannot allow FOMO and hype into your life. What do you? I ask you something, James.
Yeah.
You've been trading with Zed Monopoly for a while.
Oh yeah.
Um, Now, how do I trade? In your opinion, is what kind of trader do you think I am?
Very calm. You try to
Right?
calm everybody down in the chat room, all the
Yeah.
time. I see it a lot.
Because
I'm not one of those guys that lets my emotions take control, but I see a lot of people in the chat. Well, not a lot, but you see it sometimes. People get
yeah,
emotional. It's normal because
absolutely.
you're somewhat attached to that money and you have expectations. And
Yeah.
you're always like, for me as a young guy, I feel you're always comparing yourself to these 30, 35, 40 year olds who have 10, 15 years in front of you, and you're trying to get
Yes.
to that level of wealth. So you're always trying to think, how can I get there, faster. So it's always a
Correct.
comparison game when you're young.
But hey, most people blow up. I've seen it. I've trained
Yeah.
thousands of traders, and I've seen how they. I mean, this FOMO, like this, because that's what it is: fear of missing out. Right? They want, I need to level up quickly now. But what you spend years not doing it. Why do you want to do it in a short period of time when you see people leveling up takes time, right? If you
Yeah.
want to level up, you say, okay, I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it slowly. Like you will go slow, 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 and then that
I
just
think
one
it's
month, one
becomes
year
exponential
takes you.
after a while.
Yeah, I mean, you could go like just eating crumbs,
Yeah.
right, for years. That 1 month or quarter or even 1 year,
Yeah.
it takes you far, far. You've never seen before. You've never even experienced. You've never even thought you could be that, right? So just because you're going slow doesn't mean now you should accelerate. No, the time will come where you'll just do it automatically.
Yeah.
You're not using emotions to accelerate. You're just doing it because you believe it's the right thing to do, or you're investing because you think it's the right thing to do.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
trading this stock because you think it's the right thing to do. Everything has its time and place. You can't force it.
Yeah, I think what happens is a lot of people try to force it. A lot of beginner traders think every trade's the one trade that's gonna make them rich, and they
Yeah.
overexpose or they trade with margin, or you see it a lot, blows up accounts all the time.
And how does it work out? They always backfire. I
Usually,
mean,
unless you get the 1% that get lucky and everybody thinks they're gonna get lucky like that guy.
yeah.
So
But look,
99% of people,
people on the internet, they want hope. They want somebody to tell them this is where it's going to be. This is how you're going to change your life. This is how
yeah,
you're going to be successful. But at least if I'm going to give you hope, I'm going to make sure it's based on merits. I'm going to make sure that it's based on real stocks or real hype, not just this fugazi that's in the air. If I'm going to tell you where to find success, I'm going to do it based on reality, not on this fantasy. And today, this fantasy exists in AI stocks, for example. Everybody wants to get rich in AI stocks. Then they haven't realized that AI hosting is just basically a company comes in, takes uh, these these uh, these shipping containers, plugs them to these electric boxes, and then puts GPUs and runs these GPUs to train AI models. And that's what AI hosting
yeah.
is.
It's like
Anybody can
processing
do it.
power.
Anybody can do it, right? Like what makes your company so special? And then you're bringing these companies that are just on paper they're going to do it. And I just find it amusing to see that people are trying to get rich doing that. And sure, short term they will, right, make some money, but when everything just collapses, It will take years for that specific sector to see money again, right? Just like the dot-com bubble. But we're not saying there's a, you know, there is an AI bubble, but we're not saying it's going to happen the same way as 2021
Yeah, I think a lot of companies are using it, so it has a use
or
case. Yeah,
2020, 2000, sorry, 2021. I said it's
yeah.
2000. Sorry, go ahead, James.
Yeah, I think a lot of companies are using it since, like, even my brokerage account, I've seen them implement AI recently, I think a month ago. So at least it has, a use case. So it has somewhat a resistance of, crashing. But I think it's overinflated, you know?
Yeah. AI, I don't know. If you played games like any game 20 years ago, it would say play against AI,
Yeah,
right? Play against an AI
yeah.
a
Bots.
computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, play chess against AI. That's what AI has been here 20 years
Yeah,
ago.
and then
It's
on
just
the old
hosting,
card games.
right? It's just hosting. That's all. That's
Mm.
all. They're just the big fuss about hosting. It's I don't believe in it. I don't think it's something like wow, but retail think it is,
Yeah,
and that's where a lot of traders are gonna get wiped. And I want to make a prediction right now,
go
right?
for it.
In about 2 years, the AI market you know today will not be the same. The stocks that you see extremely valued at extreme valuation, they will be traded one to one to their market valuation or price book because they're losing money. There will only be one or two that will make it like it'll be a stable hosting stock, and these hosting stocks will not see influx of money because they have become just like a real estate company. It's just a steady contract,
Yeah,
right? Because that's what AI hosting is. You need customers. What if the customer is now just flat,
yeah,
right? No growth, just flat. You've got your reoccurring revenue, but there's no more coming in because nobody wants to get involved. That's what it's going to be in 2 years' time, right? And it's guaranteed 100%. I will come
we'll
back and
see.
revisit.
We'll visit it back.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so I got a question on around the same subject as what we're already talking about. So, what do you think separates $1 million trader from everyone else who quits?
Um, so everybody will quit because they lost money. It's not because they want to quit. People quit because they lost money. And it's not just like 100, 200. There was a statistic done. The average trader loses around 20,000 to 50,000 in 2 years,
Wow,
right? That's the statistic. How many people today you think have 20 to 50,000 in savings?
not
Not a
many.
lot.
Not in
Not
them.
many.
Yeah,
So how is it that they're losing that? Well, they keep coming back. They
yeah,
save money, they bring it to the market, they lose it. Then they come back again. They save money, and it's just a cycle. But they keep doing the same thing because they haven't used their brain to break out from this box. Because this box is the internet. That's where they learn trading, right?
yeah,
And they just think, okay, I use leverage, I day trade, I swing trade with leverage, I do forex, this blah 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 blah. But they don't. If they have saved that 50,000 and just waited for the cycle, right? The cycle we're in today, they can just invest that. If they make 5x, that's quarter of a million on 50,000.
oh yeah,
You just beat every day trader and every leverage trader where you swing
exactly.
trading. So the question is, what makes um, these traders losers? It's because of that, right? I could tell you, oh, they don't journal, oh, they don't do this, oh,
Yeah, well,
they don't stop loss risk management. All of that is foo foo. These, you see that on the internet, people talking about it on the internet. You should stop. You should do a stop loss. You should journal. You should use a journal thing. You should treat it like a business. It's foo foo, right? It's all. I mean, You could say the same thing like trading casinos, right? You should
yeah,
trade it like a business. You should journal your roulette plays, and that's what day trading is, or that's what leverage trading is. The idea here is to survive the stock market. It's not to make money. You will make money, but if you survive, and your mind is all about survival, you will make money, right? Because the markets always go up,
exactly.
right? So I
Yeah,
think that's the main thing. Is to understand that, right?
yeah. So I know since I've been with you a couple of years, I know your story from the beginning, but I've never heard you talk about what was your lowest point before you said, I'm gonna do trading, I'm gonna become successful from it.
Yeah, I mean, look, I was looking for jobs, right? And I went once to an interview because I graduated with an honors degree in computer science, and I went to an interview. It was at Twitter back then. It was called Twitter because I used to work at Facebook and Google, and I went to Twitter, and then this guy comes in, puts one leg over the other, and he starts to treat me like a little kid, right? And I said, I mean, do you know who I am? I mean, of course, I was a nobody, but I believed that I was a somebody. I really believed like you should give me respect. But who respects you when you're, you know, the
Nothing.
person that you are?
Yeah.
Nobody respects you.
Yeah.
You have to be as someone as I said, you know what? I will never apply for another job again. It's time to go for it. And I did. I went for it, right? But I actually got a job. I went to work. Finally, I ended up at Google, right? After this Twitter. Twitter was before Google. So I had an interview there, but I didn't get it. So I got lucky at Google. Lasted 9 months, called in. I said, I have to go. I'm done here. That's, of course, before I made some money.
Yeah.
But all of these are within like years, right? Couple of years. And I was building this person that I am today, just angry at the world. If you go back to videos from years ago,
Young
you
Zed.
would see how, all right, you would see
Hmm.
how angry I was. I was just coming out
You had
coming
it
out of
in
this.
you. You know, you were hungry. You know.
I was hungry, right? The anger was just there. Now today I can't be that angry because I have everything that I've ever wanted. But back then the anger, built up, and that was the moment. It was because of these jobs. It was because of the way people didn't show respect.
Yeah.
Today I go anywhere, they call me sir, because of course I live in a country where there's people. um I do not live in these countries, these countries that show no respect. And that's the thing. If you bring me to a country that doesn't give me respect, whether it's the people or the country itself, I don't want it. I don't want to live there, right?
Yeah. It's not
And you say, well,
interesting. You
that's
know.
you say that's arrogance. Well, I'd rather be that. I've earned it. I've earned the stripes, as they say.
Yeah.
um and this is it. Like, I don't expect much. I don't expect you to kiss my hand. I just expect you to show me the respect. And respect, to many people it's nothing because they don't really have the respect for themselves. For me, when you walk in and I walk into an interview at a job, you give me respect, I'll give it to you back. But if you treat me little, you know i'm not gonna I'm gonna get so angry, but I'm gonna do something about it to make you respect me eventually. And that's by making the millions.
That's
Right
right.
now, I don't care whether you give me respect now or not. We're past that stage of respect. But back then, it used to mean something to me. So that was the stage. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get on the trading thing because that's the only thing that I understand, and I've tried it before and I made some money.
Mm.
But yeah, that's the moment. I
All
think I
right.
dragged it on, but that's the moment.
No, you're great. We want to know. You know, we want to know how people make it, like you.
Yeah, you
So
need anger. You need to create a sense of urgency in your life. Everybody has a reason of why they become
yeah, you
successful.
need to have
Everybody.
that drive. You know, something that drives you to do what you want. You
Yeah,
know.
everybody.
So I know a little bit about this since I'm at a certain point in my trading journey. I don't think I see a lot of people talking about this, but I want to know how trading changed your relationships, your habits, and your environment. I know you moved from Ireland to Malta to Dubai, but with your relationships, you know, with people that you knew before and when you got money, so how did it change?
Yeah, like I said before, it was just like normal respect. It wasn't even respect. It was just like just another person. Today, I'm at a stage where I genuinely don't care about anybody. All right, it's tough to say, but I've given everybody a chance. I've literally put my hand out for people to pull them up.
You're even here
If they
giving me
can't
a
help,
chance, you know?
well,
Proof,
everybody,
you're
I
proof.
don't care who you are. If I see that you have a little bit of, uh, inspiration, or you're trying, I would give my and a lot of people will tell you Zed has helped me, right, outside of YouTube.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people will say he approached me with something, but I just, you know, but now it's too late. I don't have time for you. I don't have time to pull you up. You come to me now, right? But yeah, this is how relationships have changed. I do not have time. I just have my focus, my family, and that's it. Nothing else matters to me at this stage. No friendships, nothing. You want to be friends? No problem. I'll give you a chance, but don't expect more than there's just a thin line you do not cross anymore.
Yeah.
It's you cross it, it's over, right? That's how it is. Like I don't care about anybody these days. I'm focused on myself. I'm focused on because life is short at the end of the day. You're
Yeah,
there chasing people, trying to bring them out of the gutter. I mean,
I
if you
think
can't
you'll
get
bring
yourself
yourself
out,
down a little bit doing that, you know.
yeah, if you, yeah, exactly. You actually insult yourself by trying to help people who can't help themselves. You know, like if you want help, you come to me. I'll help you. Right? I know CEOs and I have businesses. I run businesses, private investment fund. I will help you if you come to me, but don't don't expect me to reach out to you. Right? That's what I'm saying. I'm not. We're past that stage now. Back in the day when I was coming up, you know, you kind of don't have friends. You don't have much because you're now nobody can relate to you, and
Yeah,
people started getting jealous. So you're trying to okay, maybe I'll pull these people up, so maybe I have these friends because they understand me, and then you realize screw them, right? Screw
most people
them.
don't have the same vision as you. You know, you're dreaming
They
too
don't.
big, dreaming too big.
They don't. And I remember a kid once came to me back. He said, I gave him this advice. I said, listen, when you grow up, it's gonna be you, your wife, and your family that you live with, and
Yeah,
even that will be a distance. Nothing else. No friendships. Have your friends, eat with them, say hi, goodbye. That's about it.
yeah,
So you just need to focus on what you have, right? And that's it. You focus on yourself. Life is good.
yeah. I think I relate to a lot of things that you're talking about right now in my journey. You know, I'm getting to a certain point where I'm thinking, you know, do I help people? You know, like my friends, you know, that I went up with. But at the same time, I know that if I talk to it about them, are they really gonna listen to me, or are they just gonna be jealous about it? You know?
Yeah. They won't listen.
Yeah,
Don't bother,
I don't
because they will
think.
just drag you down.
Yeah, I think most of the time that's what happens. People, well, it's we're a certain point, you know, around my age, you know, it's people. It's a bit tough, you know,
Yeah.
especially
You
with
don't have time for
everything's
that.
expensive, you know, and you don't have time. You know, it's
No.
just on my journey, you know, head down.
Hey, everybody has a brain. If they really want to change in their life, they know how to find it. They
Yeah,
know how to find. They
especially
know how
with
to
the
change.
internet nowadays, you can do anything.
If you really want it, you have a brain. You have to be willing. You can't convince anybody.
Yeah,
Right? That's why I don't try to convince beginners anymore. I used to, right? I don't try to convince beginner traders. I don't try to appeal to beginner traders. You're experienced. I'm here for you. That's my new goal.
yeah. Well, you're
And
at a certain point, you know, you can't have the stress from the new
no,
guys, you know,
no.
screaming at you, you know, what happens,
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
happening, you know.
Exactly. We're dealing with millions,
I
man.
remember
We're
from the Discord days, but you know, you're past that now, you
Yeah,
know.
we're done with that.
It's a
Yeah.
lot easier to have, you know, experienced people. Well, I'm not calling myself an experienced person, but
No, you are experienced
yeah,
though.
I've got a couple
That's the thing.
years, you
You are
know. I
experienced.
don't let my
You've been
emotions
here.
take control.
It's now been 5 years, Jay.
Yeah.
5 years. We've been since Discord. 5 years, right? When I launched Discord, I think you were one of the
Yeah.
2021. 5 years is a lot, right? So
Yeah.
that's experience. It's just we didn't have opportunities with it. We only had those opportunities from 2023 till now.
Yeah.
So it's only been 2 years of opportunities. So this is the level up, right? From 2021, we're late. Most people were late, right?
Yeah,
And
COVID,
then
you know.
2020, mid 2023 was lousy markets. But this is the level up, right? All of this preparation, we're going to get the reward now and beyond. And we know how to operate based on history lessons that we have going forward.
Yeah, exactly. So, I wanted to talk about a little bit what was your process for managing risk and not blowing up accounts for the new guys listening?
Yeah. So look, we don't day trade, right? We don't use leverage either.
Exactly.
We do not do futures and we do not do options traded. That's already eliminating 90% of the risk, right? So I don't do futures. I don't do options. I don't know how options are in the US, but the options I'm talking about, we're talking about expiry dates, we're talking about losing all the premium. I mean, I don't want to, I'm not in the business of losing. What I am in the business of is making the right choices, sitting and waiting, flipping the account, and then making sure my stock that I buy is not getting bankrupt, is not getting delisted. That's one of the major uh, roles of swing trading or swing traders to eliminate that risk of delisting and bankruptcy. I mean, if I'm buying a stock that has a future, at some point in the market's cycle, it's going to gap up and it's going to reward the shareholders because investors are looking at this stock as a way to make money,
Yeah.
and their appetite has shifted, right? So I'm managing risk by eliminating those risks of delisting and bankruptcy, and also I'm not using leverage. Those two things, right? And of course, ensuring that we're entering certain sectors during a market cycle that rewards that specific sector.
Yeah, I think,
To make it short.
with a couple years, like I have a couple years of experience, you know what you're entering before entering it. A lot of new guys don't enter a stock and they don't know how much it can move, or they don't know what makes it move or what influences it.
Yeah.
So when something happens, they're caught caught red-handed. They
They
don't
don't
know what's
know. They don't know how
happening.
to
They
react.
don't know what's
They don't know how
happening.
to react.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So they
They
can't
don't know how
go,
to
oh
react.
well,
There's
they can't be, oh well, it's happening because of this. So they panic. They think it's just crashing.
exactly like you say. You need to give a reason of why something is happening. If you can't give reasons, then you'll always be scared of volatility.
Yeah,
Like
you'll
if a
start
stock
doubting
dropped
yourself.
today, we can give a reason. We can give a reason why a stock dropped. So yeah, you're right there in saying that beginners are usually not aware of these things.
Yeah, I see that a
Um,
lot.
yeah,
Usually what happens, like on the people that post videos or buy this or buy that, people buy it, and then when something
and they
happens,
don't know. Yeah,
they don't understand it, so they get
yeah.
scared, and usually
If
they
it
end up
dips,
losing.
yeah, they go asking in the comments why. Will it
Yeah,
ever come back?
yeah. Or people that follow trading gurus, and oh, you told me it's gonna do this, and then it dropped, but then it goes up
Exactly.
after, so they just don't have the
Exactly.
patience to wait.
We were in this Marathon Digital Holding stock, and we bought this last year,
Yeah,
right? And we've been holding this for 8 months. We were down 50%. Majority of people now either are up 30% or break even, but they were down 50%, right? So you see how and I was there telling you guys it will come back, it will come back, it will come back. This is the reason why this is happening, right? And surely it's back now,
yeah,
right? I mean, you have to give a reason, but you also have to be confident. I didn't give you a reason just to keep you happy and not shook. I gave you a reason based on real, reality of realistic things like that were happening, that were pushing and putting pressure on that stock
yeah.
and that sector at that point.
I think a lot of new people don't have the mental fortitude to sit down and accept that there's bad news that comes out. They think there's always gonna be good days. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely,
So I
definitely.
wanted to know, from beginner to you're pretty much a pro now, for the amount of money you made and the amount of people you helped in your life, how your trading style evolved.
Yeah, as the more money you have, the the less risk you can take, or the more money you have, the more money you will make doing just the simple things. Like back in the day, I used to day trade, and I would be guessing direction day in
I
day
remember
out.
the penny stock videos.
Penny stocks, even
Yeah,
stocks, high cap stocks. But the thing is, over the years, what ended up happening, all this emotional pressure ended up causing anxiety, and I actually have a condition now where if I open a chart or I look at the phone for too long, my anxiety kicks in, and I actually can't even breathe because of the charts. It's now a condition. I call it a condition. Now, no doctor has told me it's a condition, but I've tested it now. Every time I open a chart, and I look at it, or even I'm attempting to day trade, this trigger kicks in, and it triggers anxiety. So I said, I'm done with that. I have enough money. I don't need to day trade anymore. Actually, why am I guessing directions every day and I'm losing a lot of money? And even people watching people saying, I blew this account today when I was training thousands of traders. That puts pressure on me. So all this pressure built up. So I came to a time where I said, well, I don't need to do this anymore. I've got enough money. Let's just swing trade. And 3 years ago, we ended up, taking. I think it was I started small, 500,000 or so, and I just started swing trading. And then I launched a Patreon, and we started doing this together. And today we're doing this together, right, with a couple of $1 million, right? Because I got confident with the market as with time, because I wasn't really a swing trader back
yeah,
then. But I have the experience from before. Like you can do day trading, swing trading will take like a couple of months to adjust to. right?
Yeah, because
Um,
you're looking at this when you're a day trader, but you need to look at this when you're a swing trader, you know?
exactly, and you're also it's simple. You just pick a couple of stocks, you buy and hold, and you just wait for the market to do its thing, and then you
Yeah.
flip your bag and rotate. But we're not trading like morons. Like we know what we're trading, we know what we're picking, we know how to minimize risk, we know how to time the market cycle in most cases. But yeah, this is how I evolved. We started there and we moved here. The more money you have, I mean, down the line, what I could do, I don't even have to do these high risk trades because now, right now, we're doing these risky stocks because it's the time for it. Down the line, what I could do is just go into restaurant stocks,
Yeah.
right? Just do dividends if I really wanted to. If you don't want risk, you just do dividends, or you just go defensive stocks, or you go to energy stocks. But I like a little bit of risk in my life, right? Yeah, and especially when the time is right for it.
Yeah.
But that's that's the evolution of how I got here.
See, you have the experience to know when the time's right. You know, that's the
Yeah,
difference from a beginner and someone who's a pro. Usually people buy stocks when they're down, but they don't know when it's gonna come up and they get discouraged. You know,
exactly.
keeps going
I
down.
remember when I yeah, I remember when I was just starting out, my first trade ever. I didn't know anything about economy. I didn't know anything about what moves the stock. I didn't know anything about what the market is doing today. It would just be like, okay, stock is down, cheap, I buy. It
Yeah,
goes up because I heard buy cheap, sell high,
yeah,
right? Like you don't. That's exact. Honestly,
yeah,
that is
yeah.
exactly
We
what
all heard
happened.
it. Everybody who started, we all heard it.
Exactly. Here we are 12 years later. You're looking at this, and then equals this. If this, it's like an algorithm. If
Yeah,
this exists, well, this is going to happen to this stock or to this sector or to this market,
exactly.
right? It's a whole new thing now. But
Yeah,
it's simpler. Now you understand it.
yeah. It's the
You're not
less
scared.
less you're less scared of what's gonna happen
Exactly.
because you have reasons. It's like when you have rate cuts or when you have anything that happens. There's a reason for everything.
Exactly. Exactly.
So we got a couple minutes left on the call. So I wanted to ask you this question for the last question, for the new guys.
Yeah.
What's your advice for someone working a 9 to 5 who wants to start trading full time?
If you're working a 9 to 5 job today and you want to trade full time, well, number one, you have to make a lump sum, right? Everybody needs to make a lump sum.
Yeah.
You don't just because you made a quick cent here, a quick $100 here, even if you made $100,000, right? Is it enough for you to say I can quit? Do you have I mean, you need a lump sum that
Yeah.
you're comfortable with, so you can just say, okay, I'm gonna work with this from now on. I have a lump sum. I can save a little bit of money for a rainy day, and I can deploy the rest, and I can make 15% a year. Now that's like the minimum, right? If you're swing trading, if I make 15%, then I can survive and live off the returns. But that's the minimum, right? Anything after that, well, that's great. But 15% is great. Now, if you make 15%, then you survive. But if you make less than that, then you have money in the bank to survive
Yeah,
with,
you
and you
have to
just
have a
wait, sit and
backup,
wait.
you know?
The only thing you have to know if you're a swing trader doing this for a living is if you pick wrong or you FOMO, there's zero room for error. You cannot follow the crowd. You cannot buy things that you don't understand. You need to have confidence in everything you buy. There's zero room for error if you're trying to do this for a living, right? But the more lump sum you have or the more savings you have, uh, the more risk you can take, right? So you need to just focus on a lump sum. Once you do that, you can pick up the phone, call in, and say, I'm done, right? I'm going to take this seriously. I'm going to focus. But you need to have multiple stream. I guess you need to have a little bit of stream of income outside of your trading.
Yeah.
You do. You do need a stream of income outside of your trading. So you don't focus on your portfolio to feed you, right? I know what you want to do. Most traders, they want to kind of trade for a living.
Everybody
You want to
wants to do
trade.
it. It's the lifestyle. It's the
It's
lifestyle you want.
tough. Actually, everybody telling you they trade for a living are probably not trading for a living.
Yeah.
It's the reality of it,
Yeah.
right? So you need to be smarter. I know it's a dream, but you need to treat trading like this thing that's going to appreciate your capital, right? And
Yeah.
then go focus somewhere else. Maybe you start a side hustle. Maybe you do a business. Maybe you start a YouTube channel, right? Maybe you do something else. I don't know. It's your once you're smart over the years, you'll know what to do. So that's my advice to everybody.
All right. I want to thank you personally, Zed, for you're the one who reached out to me, for this video. Like you were saying, if you want to help somebody who wants to start, he's the man. He reached out to me. I have to be honest, I'm 100% with you guys. He reached out to me for this video, so I want to thank you personally, Zed. And
No
we're gonna
problem.
end this video. I think we have only a couple minutes left on the call. Yeah. So
Yeah.
thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys learned a lot from him. He's the man I learned everything from. So while you guys watch my journey, you're gonna be seeing a lot of things that he taught me. How to do. So
That's it.
you
And
can just do the
I
same
think you're
thing we
gonna do
do
really well.
to produce our success.
That's
So
it.
thank you guys for watching. Stay fit and stay rich, and I'll talk to you guys
Thanks,
later.
guys. See you. Bye bye.
All right. Massive respect for my mentors at Monopoly for dropping some wisdom on us today. And if you got some value from this and made it this far, don't forget to hit like, share it with someone who's on their success journey, and subscribe too, don't forget, because it's just the beginning. We're just getting started, baby. All right. Talk to you guys later. Peace.